Good evening, pond jumpers, and welcome to the Third Rock. This video is on the reason why it's pointless to vote in the presidential elections. I was going up north to drop off some equipment with a truck driver. And truck drivers, they love to talk politics. So we had a lot of time to kill. So I indulged my driver and lended my ear and listened to him complain about how terrible California was and how everybody is entitled. And as he bitched and complained, he told me how great the Republican and Fox Entertainment is. It's where he gets all his information, from an entertainment TV show that gives their opinions, not facts. And mind you, he's Mexican, and he's probably the darkest Mexican I've ever seen, and he speaks Spanish, and he comes from the state of New Mexico. He couldn't make it in his state, so he had to go to a different state to bitch and complain. And then he couldn't even make it in that state, and now, when this is all said and done, he had to move to another state with his loud mouth, Republican ways. So anyhow, he got what he wanted. And as we're driving, he kept telling me how bad the Democrats were. I tried to explain to him that it doesn't matter whether if it's a right or left. They both work for the same company. And he just got louder and louder. And he just kept going on about how they want to do all this HBQ, QQHB, all this other crazy shit. I still understand where you're coming from. I go, but that's all part of their program. You know, good cop, bad cop. And he asked me to explain. I go, look, bro, plain and simply, the easiest way I can describe the Republicans and the Democrats is just like the football, like the NFL. You got the American Conference and you got the National Conference. One is blue and one is red. You got the Republican Party and the left party. One's blue, one's red. Same thing with freaking gangs. Black, white, Mexican, all of them. Red and blue. It's the same old circus. Okay? At the end of the day, these guys play their hearts out all year round. They battle it out for the whole season. At the end of the year, they crowned the champion that's selling the most merchandise. Okay? The one that's going to make the most bread for the whole company. And then the elites, they get bonuses and they all meet up at a party. Just the elite out of all the groups. Even though they're supposedly different companies, different owners. They all, at the end of the day, at the end of the year, they all go, well, they used to go to Hawaii. But they would all get together, the elites, they called them the all-stars. You know, like, kind of like the Morning Star type of stuff. And remember, stars are a dime a dozen. They're everywhere. At the end of the day, they all report back to the Shield. And the same thing with the District of Columbia. The Republicans and the Democrats, they all report back to this place that doesn't even have a governor. And yet right next to it in Maryland, there's this place called Prince George County. And I think he's from France. And he married the Lady of England, the Queen. Why the hell is that still called Prince George? You know, no one debates that. That ain't American. I don't care if it was here before we had this place. That's totally foreign. Okay? But anyhow, it's called PJ. I don't know. I don't live out there. If anybody knows, hit me up. I think that's like a neighborhood or something like that. It's called PG. Anyhow, at the end of the day, they all report back to the company. Okay? They all report back to the company. And here's another thing. Yo, Google, did Hillary Clinton win the presidential election against Donald Trump?
No, Hillary Clinton lost the presidential election to Donald Trump.
Did she win anything against him?
Hillary Clinton won the national popular vote against Donald Trump in 2016, getting about 65.8 million votes. but she lost the election because she didn't get the necessary 270 electoral college vote.
So pretty much, Hillary Clinton won the popular vote. If we're in a race and you're the popular guy, shouldn't you win? But he won because all the governors outvoted all us regular people. So pretty much your vote doesn't freaking count. And this is what Donald Trump was yapping about, was he stole the election from Hillary because she won the popular vote, and he won. The rich people, the governors, voted for him. Okay? So pretty much if they vote against the people's vote doesn't even count, because 4 years later, Biden won the same exact way Trump did. And then Trump started crying and bitching because he knew what happened. He robbed Hillary, and then he got robbed by Biden. And that's when he was hollering and hollering like a schoolgirl. You know what I mean? That damn predator. Okay? And then the truck driver kept telling me about how the Republicans are so good, and if Donald Trump doesn't get elected, I'm not going to have any work. I don't know what I'm going to do. I go, bro, you ain't never met this man before. He's a total stranger to you. Because I know, but if he doesn't get elected, I don't know what we're going to do. This country's done. And I explained to him how Donald Trump wants to sleep with his daughter and so on and so forth. I showed him all the evidence. And he would not admit that he was wrong. His pride. Even though I showed him the video where Donald Trump talking about how he wants to sleep with his daughter Ivanka. Because this man that's driving has a daughter too. And I said, man, you have a daughter. What you think about that? He paused for a long time. And we drove in silence. And finally he opened his fat mouth and he said, safety. He wouldn't admit that I was right. So what he said is, I reasoned that I'm going to vote for the less of the two evils. And he felt so good about it. He goes, yeah, I'm going to vote for the less of the two evils, safety. I'm going to vote for Donald Trump because even though you say what you say about him being a pervert, he doesn't want to do what the Democrats want to do and chop up the kids and stuff. I go, no, he doesn't want to chop them up. He just wants to sleep with them. And he goes, well, I'm still voting for the less of the two evils. And I shook my head. I paused. And he was so proud of himself, like he just did something great. And I go, I let silence creep in, you know what I mean? I let it pause for a moment, and I said, yeah, you voted for the less of the two evils. But at the end of the day, no matter how you flip it, no matter what language you use, you still voted for evil. And he just fucking got quiet. Because at the end of the day, those weren't the only two people on the ballot. There was other people on the ballot. And just because you didn't want to be wrong, and just because you have undercover racist tendencies to put away your pride and do the right thing, you still voted for fucking evil. Alright? There's no way you can change it. God bless y'all. Godspeed. Be safe. Y'all stay and take it easy out there on the third rock. Safety out.